dear viewers.
Yep, to all those that would like to know what happened. Well, to keep in the aspect of the story, let's just say communications were cut due to the war effort.
Yes.
We're back, nonetheless, but to those out there at home, do expect multiple communication outages when we have such large and experimental vessels within same areas of each other.
Yes. There's something we need to work on, Nick. There is something wrong with the communications.
And sadly, we have to wait on the UEE to work on that.
Yes. It's true.
Hopefully they can update our comms.
We make the most high-tech experimental ships for them, and yet we have the equivalent of hand-me-down second-rate communication devices. It's a lovely world, isn't it?
I believe the antediluvian has just shocked in. Maybe? Yes! I bring good news. The pride and joy of federal shipping industries. And with cohesive actions with our brothers in arms at Imperial Industries, the flagship, the antediluvian class super dreadnought. Well, I have delivered. I leave you to it.
Yeah, I'll create the blueprint of this one so I actually have its militarized version instead of the game committing suicide and then our communications being cut due to the war.
Yeah. Damn war efforts fucking everything up.
It truly is. Like, why did they have to go to war? Why did the UEE have to get involved is a better question.
Money, fam. Money.
The same thing for our industry. Money.
War's where the money's made. You remember the nations of old, back when Earth used to fight itself?
You're right.
Nations fighting each other for money.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly, if people at home would like to know the secret to our industries, music. Play whatever song gets you in the zone. And just let your mind wander. There's a sea of vast knowledge. It's the way to unlock it.
Amen to that. It always works better when you've got something to distract your mind. And that's a fact.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's enough stretching out of the battle.
Give me a second, I'm pulling up the communications array now.
Copy.
That's part 2. Alright, I'm now in the communications array.
Good, good.
Blood sugar is high and I don't know why.
Oof.
You know another thing you can do, now that I look at it, The way the bridge is designed, you can probably make it more center-lined if you wish. Or keep it that total canted design.
I think that canted design will suffice.
It's your choice. It is your ship to mess with.
Yeah.
Besides, we have a whole fleet of others to work on ourselves.
True. We could probably add some of the experimental weaponry we've been developing onto this.
That might be wise. It might... On top of shipbuilding, we do need to experiment more with weaponry.
Yes.
As much as the information we've been getting back from the antediluvian, there hasn't been enough information because the UE is too afraid to send it into combat. The dreadnought, for Christ's sake. Go break some back.
Yes.
Hell, antediluvian 03 to 06 is currently docked around Earth. You're currently holding on to 01 for experimentation and, display purposes.
Yeah.
UE needs to man up and do their damn job.
They do. We give them all these toys, yet they're cowards and don't use them. I've read the reports. I've seen it. Your industry specifically designed the antediluvian to take hits and dish it out.
Yeah. Couple that with the special weapon batteries you've placed on it.
Oh, yes.
It should be able to take it and dish it, but they're too afraid to send it in combat. It's almost like they expect it to not work, which is a little disrespectful, in my opinion.
It really is. We've supplied them with so many ships that have been sent into combat that have successful combat records and minimal losses. So why is the antediluvian any different?
I think their fear is that it might be destroyed by that quote-unquote king ship that the pirates have.
Yeah.
That they're gonna be forced to buy another ship. The way I see it, I don't care. Send it. Go show them that you're not afraid to spend money to kick their ass.
Yes. And I've read the reports on that king ship. It has nothing compared to what we've built.
I'm trying to see if I can get some UEE hands to claim a king ship. Because if I can learn the understandings and the shit behind it, well, what is the enemy gonna do to stop? We literally have their weakness in our hands.
Yeah. I mean, reading the report, sure, it has some impressive armaments. Generic armaments, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, some would even call them vanilla. I mean, they've got... It's like main spinal mount weaponry. It's some jury-rigged railguns from one of our, turret mounts that was on one of the latest combat vessels. No. It was I think it was a Corvette that we'd sent out. Or where they'd bought like a bulk of it, 12. Or we gave him Baker's dozen, got that 13th in there. Combat
was it that old school, early system ship design?
Yes.
Yeah, I know which, yeah.
Yeah.
So if your reports are much akin to mine, they're using pretty primitive and old school technologies, which is weird as to why the UEE would be afraid to send something of such advanced monstrosity to assault them.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Because looking at the reports for its spinal mount, I compared it to our old school cruiser that they purchased, that we sent out, that was deployed on the latest combat run. You remember, it's... what was it? It had perfect combat records with minimal casualties. I think the latest casualties it had, despite it being old school, yes, it had five destroyed out of the bulk number that I've sent. So it confuses me as to why they aren't sending out Beyond the Diluvian. Those things have primitive weapons, jury-rigged at that.
Yeah. Weaponry that is quite literally inferior in all regards.
Yeah.
And on top of that, their armor profile. So you know how over here at Federation Arms, we mix in a certain set of ceramo alloys along with a thin layer of titanium sheeting to create that old school, what did they call it, spaced armor?
Yeah, spaced armor.
Yet the pirates actually use that spaced armor.
Huh.
And from weapons tests, because we've had some field rookies go in with some of your guys,
Yeah.
to test against some armor they managed to capture. The weapons don't even just go through, it just straight vaporizes the armor.
Yeah,
So,
I remember reading those reports, so carry on.
either the UEE is just so lazy as to not go snuff out the fucking piracy at the heart, or there's something bigger going on, and from my most recent insider report, I've been getting hearsay that the pirates have a new capital ship.
Huh.
And
Do
it's
they?
said to rival the Antediluvian.
Interesting. How would they even create such a ship to rival the masterpiece that we've made?
Let me see. So here are the data logs from our inside sergeant.
Yeah.
In the pirate cluster, they're taking the remains of old ships, our ships, your weapons, stripping the technology from them and making a mega ship, a Hulk if you will. They're grafting ships together.
Clever bastards, I'll give them that.
Crude but clever, I will agree.
Yeah.
But I'm well a few steps ahead of them.
As always.
As of recent technological understanding, our ships are built basically off the armor, correct?
Yes.
Well, that alien artifact, with, again, some knowledge we've ascertained, with the help from your people, we can theoretically build shield generators.
Huh.
Do you know how astronomically helpful that will be for ship designing?
Yeah.
We can lighten armor, making ships faster, more maneuverable, and divert higher power cells to weaponry.
We can add more weapons to it too. With it being lighter, more maneuverable, it'd have more areas for weapon emplacements to go on.
I don't know about the more areas, but I know diverting more power to weapon systems like the Class 12s will overcharge them.
Well, I'm thinking maybe not the larger weapons, but definitely more areas for point defense weapons. I
All I
know.
know is if that pirate capital ship exists, one step ahead of them.
Yeah?
Best thing you can be is one step ahead of your enemy. Yeah.
As always.
I will be right back. I must go grab a drink and use the bathroom again. BRB.
Aight. Bastards. Gotta give them that.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned.
Welcome back.
I think I might start construction on a heavy freighter. Since I have a heavy tanker already built and confirmed.
Indeed.
If I can get that heavy freighter working, I can get that alien artifact.
It'd be good for business. You know?
Yeah.
Can't let any opportunities go to waste.
Yeah, that's the damn truth.
That would also be bad business. And don't want bad business. Now do
So if
we?
we can get to it before the pirates can, because I hear the pirates have been, really been wanting to get their hands on some, new technologies as of late. Especially hearing for that, super ship they've been working on.
Yeah.
Very bad for business.
Oh, most definitely. So if they manage to get their hands on that shit...
That means we're gonna have to develop a way to crack shields. Which, again, how industrious we are, we'll find a way.
Oh, we will. I mean...
I'd like to be one step ahead.
Oh, yes. We should always be one step ahead of the competition, no matter what the cost.
think I know what I might design the heavy freighter off of. Remember that old ship back when humanity was just still exploring its own system? The Roanoke.
Yes. The Roanoke. A lovely ship. Shame what happened to it.
Yeah, still muddled by government bureaucratic bullshit.
Yes.
Guess we'll never really learn what happened to that ship.
Yeah.
I hear they found an alien artifact, but again, nothing's really been confirmed as of it.
I've always found it strange that a ship of the Roanoke size just vanishes and then mysteriously comes back.
That's not even the worst part. From the horror stories I hear, apparently the crew was all dead. But the government hasn't really given any forward actions onto it. And any information my brokers could obtain is just more or less just fantasy, to be honest.
Yeah. What genuinely confuses me is that ship was armed with a fleet escort.
No, another story I was able to ascertain said that there was a whole graveyard of ships where they found the Roanoke.
I've always wondered, as I remember, it was sent out with one of the most beautiful looking battleships at that time. It was like the Terra Nova?
Yeah. It was the flagship of the time, the very first battleship humanity ever built.
Yeah.
Neither the Roanoke nor the Terra Nova came back.
Yeah.
As where they went, well, the government knows, and the government has been silent as of late.
Yeah. Think the government's afraid of letting us know the truth as to what really went down?
Oh, you know it. Government's always afraid. Yui. Oh, fuck. That is a slight issue. Ship is getting weighed down by the hydrogen tanks. Okay, come on. Come on. Fight it.
Yeah. I've definitely heard a few stories as to what people think went down.
That ship is like, what, 400 years old now?
Oh, yeah. Somewhere about that age.
Still, there's no... I find it kind of hard to make the entire history of a ship of such historical significance to just disappear.
Especially given its history of how armed it was at the time. You think a ship like that doesn't mysteriously disappear. There's circumstances that have to go down.
That and the talk of the alien artifact.
Yeah. This, from what I've heard, supposedly they found something that not even the government was aware that existed. Yes. From the story I heard, it was much akin to, if you remember back, way old history, when that one submarine was lost, but yet the government did nothing about it.
Yeah.
From what I heard, apparently the ship sent out a distress signal. Well, that fleet, you remember, wasn't a fleet. If I remember counting the numbers, they had amassed an armada with the Roanoke. Why would the Roanoke need an armada if it was just exploring?
Hell, it wasn't even exploring, it was just a cargo ship.
Yeah.
It was the early system, what is it, the early sovereign system, cargo transport.
Yeah.
It was to help the, sovereign system set up a trade route between Earth and, what was it, the Ghost system is what they call it now? The system
Yeah.
that's removed from all data charts.
Yeah. If I remember, I think that's the system where the Roanoke was lost with her armada.
Well, that's how the stories go, but the question is, where's that system? Nobody knows.
Yeah. And I think it might be for one hell of a good reason.
Yeah, it has to be. There's only one way I can imagine an entire ship, its crew, and an armada disappearing, along with an entire system with it.
Yeah. This is continuing that story I heard. Supposedly, that entire armada sent out a distress beacon. Well, you've got multiple destroyers, cruisers, escorts, battleship Terra Nova. That's an armada. What
That's
could have
a
been?
whole invasion fleet right there.
Yeah. What could have posed such a threat that it could have taken out an invasion force of that size in a mere instant?
I don't know what the worst part is, though.
Huh.
The Terra Nova and the Roanoke
Yeah?
are ancient sovereign or ancient federal ship designs. Our
Yeah.
designs. And I have no blueprints, anything of those ships. I have nothing. There's no recollection, no data files, no business transfers. It's almost as if those ships never officially existed.
You know, come to think of it, I think my industry, well, obviously, we're still fledgling during that time. We'd armed
Sean
those
known
warships.
as, like the CEC or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were at the time.
Corporate, exploratory, something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I remember we'd actually armed those ships. But those weapons are gone.
This data will never really get a hold of. Nice.
Yeah. Maybe for good reason we'll never get that data back.
Well, we can only hope, because what I hear, the Roanoke was really an outstanding marvel of technology for its time, which
Yeah.
sounds like it'd be really useful to have.
Most definitely. Continuing that story as told, supposedly when the government ships got there, the Armada was still intact. But,
Yeah.
as I remember, this was from an old crew of one of the government ships that appeared. Supposedly, by orders of their commanding squadron, they were to do nothing but sit and watch. Then we have the story that we were told by the government. And there was even photos. The Armada was completely destroyed. Just a graveyard of broken up vessels.
Yeah.
I get those ships at the time were, yes, they were aging, but by the time they were sent out on that, the ships were already, what, a good 20, 30 years old? Give
I
or
think they
take?
were like some 100 years old, but
Yeah.
again, it's hard to tell when we don't have any records on them.
It is. I get they're aging, but ships don't fall apart like that.
Yeah, especially the supposed photos they have of where the Roanoke was last seen.
Uh-huh.
It was weird seeing the debris field, because it didn't look like an actual naval battle took place. It
No.
looked like everything was just straight abandoned.
It did.
Which, again, at the time, why would, what was it, the sovereign colonies? Is that what they
Yeah, that's what they went by was the sovereign colonies in the beginning.
Why would they abandon their most powerful ships and
Yeah.
then just not talk about it? It sounds kind of dumb if you ask me.
It truly does. So I remember back at the time being the CC, or I don't even remember. It's been so long. Our old corp.
CEC or some shit.
There's CC, right? The CEC. I don't remember. It's been so long since we've used that name for our corporation.
Like what, 400 years now?
Yeah. I think we're closing on like the 410th anniversary of our great company.
Yeah, it's been a minute now.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, I think I still have some images of that debris field. Because looking at it, there's obviously debris. Something went down. As you can clearly see here, if I could show the image, and I would if I could, but our communications aren't that advanced as of right now.
Yeah.
Is here where supposedly the Roanoke was last seen, because the Terra Nova was the escort of Roanoke. You can see the Terra-class battleship. 3 Terra-class battleships with Terra Nova was as the number 1. You can see a Terra-class battleship back there, but it's split in half.
Which doesn't make sense, because it
No.
was a flagship.
Yeah,
Why would something of that scale... What would it take to split something of that scale in half?
yeah, it's confusing.
It doesn't make sense is what it is.
No, it doesn't. And the fact that the Terra Nova was the prestigious pride of the military, whereas the Roanoke was the pride of the escort, or not escort, but
I think it was
transportation.
Pride of the CEC.
Yeah, something like that.
was like a show that y'all could make a ship of great splendor or something like that.
Yeah. The fact that we lost our Pride flagship that day still bugs me.
Again, we'll never really know what happened because
No.
all information on that system and event has been scrubbed from every scanner.
Yeah.
All we really have is nothing more than mere folklore.
Truly. Because even looking at photos today, even with the amount of technology that we have, we can't still discern what happened. Because
Yeah.
I remember specifically designing the Roanoke as the flagship of my company, or CEC at that time. Because before we went to full-scale arms production, yeah, we had arms facilities, yeah. But we were a transportation company. We transported stuff. Ships, cargo. You know.
Yeah, y'all were like essentially the big, what was it? The multi-purpose corporation.
Yeah.
Sought over humanity, developing into a stellar nation.
Yeah, if I remember, I think our name, it was like the Concordance Extraction Corporation, or no, it was a Concordance Exportation Corporation. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because we were the largest exporter of goods, and the Roanoke was our pride. Remember, you guys had made the Terra class battleship with Terra Nova as its flagship and the first of its generation.
Yeah, because at the time we were in concordance with the sovereign colonies building their military assets.
Yeah.
This was before y'all turned into a military organization. We were essentially the military organization then.
Yeah. Because we were still just the Concordance Exportation Company. I remember when we had, because we were both selected for that mission, so I'd sent the pride of our fleet, the Roanoke, and you had chosen the Terra Nova to serve as its flagship escort.
Yeah.
We never saw those ships again. Because, like I pointed out, even in this image, you can see the Terra Nova split in half.
Honestly, other than that, the most disturbing part of the image is just the lack of real signs of life.
Yeah. And
it's almost as if everything has died.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Because you can, just by looking at the image, you can clearly tell these ships were abandoned. And why? Like, that's the question.
Question we're probably never going to get an answer to as long
No.
as the UEE is doing their whole debacle.
Yeah. It's like,
until then, it will be forever known as the Ghost System.
Yeah. Because I remember when we chose the crew for that mission, we chose the best of the best. The fearless of our group from our organizations. And yet, this happened. There had to have been something in that system that they found that did this.
We're never gonna get the answer to that, sadly.
No.
Soon.
Truly all we can do. Oh, God.
Honestly, if the colonists
Yeah.
bring it up to it, I'm thinking of building that exploration deep space vehicle, and possibly surveying a crew to go possibly find that ghost system or any records of its existence.
True. Well, it might be a stretch and a long shot at that, but we have images, old images of the wreck of that armada. Because
Yes.
you can look at this image, you can see several destroyers, cruisers, and the Terra Nova. In this image, because here on my desk, I've laid out all the images. You can see every ship in that armada that had accompanied. And you can tell which one's the Terra Nova, because it's the only ship split in half. But out of every ship, only the Roanoke is missing. That's a mystery in itself. Where'd the Roanoke go?
Especially a ship of that size, the Roanoke was larger than the Terra Nova due to it being a cargo ship.
Yeah. And cargo ships don't just disappear.
You know, you remember when I was talking about that pirate super ship? I
Yeah?
might have to send some insurgents, sleeper cells,
Yeah.
to go and see if maybe the pirates may possibly have some of those ships.
It's a possibility. Knowing that the pirates, they somehow get their hands on things that, well,
It should theoretically not be possible.
yeah. I remember reading a report about last week. Somehow the pirates managed to get their hands on the ship over 400 years old from the sovereign colonies. Despite the fact that everything about the sovereign colonies has basically been scrubbed from existence.
What ship was it?
I think it was a Concordian class cruiser. And
Sounds like one of the old Federal Arms ships, but I have very little, if any, records of such ships.
yeah. If I remember, I think the report read its name was Concordance. Bit of an odd name, especially given the way the ship was. But I was surprised because I haven't heard of a Concordance class cruiser since the sovereign colonies, their navy was dissolved when the United Earth Empire, or when they were turned into the United Earth Empire, I should say.
Yeah, I just found that weird about the history. The sovereign colonies were holding strong. They were really just the powerhouse diplomatic and politically. And then out of nowhere, they just straight up disassemble themselves.
Yeah.
And now here we are with the UEE.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Because there was nothing wrong with them. Nothing politically. They were going strong. Strong as any empire could be. Then we wake up the next day. The sovereign colonies are gone, and in place is the United Earth Empire. Like, what happened in that span of a single day to result in the world's largest empire disappearing and becoming the UEE?
My theory is it's on the pirates. Because again, like I said, there's records of the pirates making that super ship. They have like some experimental shit going on. They're playing like we are. They're bringing shit out the bag that should not even be possible.
Yeah. It's honestly quite strange to see how far the pirates have come. I remember back when we were working with the sovereign colonies, especially me, since, well, I was the only large-scale exportation company at the time.
Yeah,
How much I worked closely.
Just a military. I was mostly just a military contractor.
Yeah. Uh, I remember the pirates. Yeah, the pirates existed, but they weren't a threat. They just kind of chilled.
They kind of just did their own thing. They knew when, like, it was not their area to go tangle.
Yeah.
As of late, they've been getting really testy, especially with like our weapons and shit.
Truly.
News of like the pirates stealing and like trying to refurbish old wrecks of our ships.
Yeah.
And then to further on to that, you have the fucking knowledge that hey, they might have the ancient warships that everyone has basically been looking for in the old fucking ghost system.
Yeah. Like I was saying.
Raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, it does. It does. It certainly does. Because that's our history that they have. But the UEE doesn't even bat an eye.
Well, I will do as I said. I will send some sleeper cells in to get some information. Until then, best we can do is just, well, do our damn jobs.
Yeah. You know, I was gonna say, but these images, and I know it's going to be quite a stretch, but you think it might be possible to cross-reference these images and find the ghost system?
I would like to say yes, but we've all had groups of people go searching, cross-referencing.
Yeah.
So far, no one has been able to cross-reference anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever happened in that system, the CEC and the sovereign colonies did not ever want anyone to find again. And thus they made it pretty fucking clear no one can ever find it again.
Well, you know, I might be able to get in contact with some old buddies from the old corporation, the old Concordance Exportation Company. Oh, us, obviously, my old company. I know I had I know I had a few buddies that worked in the ghost system, as it's called nowadays. They might know a thing or two on what truly happened. We might be able to see our history again.
Oh, that was the other thing. Back when the CEC and the sovereign colonies was a thing, you had that, what was the planet called? The Gaia or something?
Oh yeah.
Whole incident where was a whole ass planet cracker. All of its crew dead, and it fell into orbit and blew the planet up. Well, not entirely, but it destabilized the planet. No
Yeah.
survivors. There's no information that followed.
Yeah, I remember that whole incident. That was not a fun day trying to clear everything up.
Worst part was, back then, we sent a destroyer out there to go figure out what was going on. It never returned.
Yeah, I remember reading a report about that.
Never got any information from the government, just that it was destroyed in combat. Could never go recover the wreckage. System was blocked from all charts.
Yeah. I know what
Sad
went...
night, though.
Yeah. I still remember exactly what went down that day, too. God, it was not pretty.
Oh. On top of that, have you been seeing the recent reports with the, oh, what was that? So on top of the, colonists and pirates finding alien technology, apparently there's been reports of possible alien sightings in the outer fringes.
Yeah, I've been reading those reports too. It doesn't seem far-fetched. Because truly at first I was thinking, there's no way this can be possible. But as we've looked back on our own history, I don't think it's just folklore anymore. I genuinely think there might be aliens out there. Not to say that we aren't aliens ourselves, but you get the gist.
From what I've seen, the aliens, and recent geographical studies, the aliens, they are kind of studying us. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, definitely sounds weird. I believe it.
Yeah. Honestly, it makes sense now to think about it, why the UEE have been the way they have. They should just probably get their fucking hands out their ass and just finish up with the pirates, and we can deal with aliens.
Yeah. So the last thing we need is some hostile genocidal aliens that come knocking down our doorsteps.
Oh, whatever they do, you know damn good and well, man, you're gonna be the first ones to give them a look back.
Yeah. And we'll give him 20 reasons not to invade our solar system. And those reasons will be filled with lead.
Welcome to Earth. Proud to have you.
Here's our gift basket. Now could you kindly fuck off? We've got shit to do.
Yeah, that's the Earth way.
Truly is. And God, am I glad it hasn't fucking changed, 'cause damn, we really need that energy right now. It's like we should just give the pirates that Earth energy. Here, fuck right off. We're busy, you know.
Yeah, honestly, they could use that Earth energy. Maybe it'll give them a reason to leave of fucking shit alone for once.
Have to try. I don't know what changed with the pirates. Is like when we reminisced. remember seeing pirates back in the CEC days. They just vibe. No hard feelings, no nothing. And now?
I think personally what it has to do is more akin with the fact of how advanced shit has become. Because you remember the old Planet Crackers, hell, the Terra Nova shit we were talking about.
Yeah.
They were advanced for their time, don't get me wrong, but now we have ships that are just more advanced technologically and just superiorly.
True.
Maybe now that shit has advanced, pirates think that they can do something and get something out of it.
Yeah. Does sound like... It truly does. Sometimes I just kind of wish we could keep that old energy. I don't know.
It'd be nice, but times change.
Yeah. And we got...
Turn into Imperial Arms Industries. I'm still Federal Arms. But instead of being a military company and a mining corporation, we're now a shipbuilding industry, a military weapons company, and we're building for the UAE to stop a pirate threat and supposed alien bullshit.
Yep.
Sounds insane when you put it in the grand scheme of things, but anything typically does.
Yeah. Hell, looking back on it, people said ship like Terra Nova and Roanoke were impossible. We showed them they were wrong.
And ships like these are impossible. Now we have the flagship of our combined arms.
Yep.
People that use it barely want to fucking use it. Thumbs up bureaucracy.
It does.
On to a good side of things, anyway. The heavy freighters coming along nicely.
Yeah, that's good. I do have a... Oh.
You continue what you say,
Yeah.
and I'll continue mine.
I was gonna say, I do have good news. The, battleship's coming along nicely. I'm currently arming it with anti-air weapons.
I must say that you might want to layer your armor a bit more, because it's made of nothing but light armor since it originated from a freighter. It's not naturally going to be armored too well.
Yeah. No, I'm just adding like flak batteries to the engine cowlings and all that, so you can get that cloud of shrapnel to protect against rockets and all that.
Smart.
Because the engines are probably going to be mainstay focused given how big they are. So, get that flak batteries and point defense weaponry in.
Keeps the ship from dying as far as I see it.
Yeah. The bow kind of looks a little stubby, in my opinion, but...
I mean, you can always just elongate it a little bit more.
True. I added those spinal weapons just to see how it'd look. I'm definitely gonna elongate the bow. Have that center line gap close up.
Yeah.
Think that might be good enough. What do you think? Is that long enough, or should I elongate it about 5, 6 more blocks?
I would say add 5 or 6 more blocks, and yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Alright. Now we elongate the rest of it. You know, I wonder what the UEE is gonna do after the threats have been extinguished.
I hear that they're going to put more development towards Terra, that colony that's supposedly the new Earth,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard too much about it other than that.
Yeah, it's truly a shame to see what happened to the OG Earth.
Currently in a state of not doing too well, but it's better than it was during the, the First Colony War decades ago.
I remember when the solvent colonies were first formed, Earth was still in their prime. Then, well, First Colony War struck out and Earth's natural resources were abused.
Annihilated.
Yeah, annihilated. Then you just had my company importing, well, mainly exporting different goods. No, we also ran the Planet Cracker fleet.
Yeah, we were building a majority of the holes, and y'all just retrofitted them from mining use.
Yeah.
Planet Crackers were built on a more civilianized variant of the Terra Nova class battleship.
Yep. I remember.
Ingenious use of resources.
Yeah, I remember getting the first Terra class battleship with asking what do we need the battleship for. Told me it's being retrofitted into a revolutionary new ship.
Mining ship.
Yep, mining ship. Nicknamed Planet Cracker. Did well. So well, in fact, that they put me in charge, well, my company in charge of the Planet Cracker fleet. And what, it was about 5-6 years after that, we had the Gaia incident.
Yeah, still no information on the Gaia incident, which is the worst part.
Yeah. That day was such a long day.
Yeah, all the fucking paperwork.
Yeah.
This is a good thing for business now. Paperwork ain't too bad. UEE's
Yeah.
just got fucking hands in their pockets saying, give us more. Sure. Just sign your name here and we'll build you a dreadnought.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy for CEE. UE.
Yeah, the UE.
Yeah.
Sadly, the CEE, yeah, CEC doesn't, yeah, the CEC doesn't exist anymore. We're reformatted into the Imperial Arms industry.
Look, Luckily, the UEE's bureaucracy is not that bad.
Yeah,
It's
thank
still
God.
pretty ass, but
Oh yeah.
sovereign colonies bureaucracy was terrible.
Yes, it was. A single incident occurs on your company. You gotta file like 900 different reports. So I remember some guy like scraped his knee. I don't know, on board one of my planet crackers. I had over 70 different report files for a single scrape.
Sounds like a hell.
Oh, it was. I'm just glad we haven't had any Gaia incidents. At least not anymore.
Yeah, but wait.
Yeah. Entire Planet Cracker crew suddenly goes silent. Planet Cracker dead radio. At least that's what we called radio silence. The next thing we know, Planet Cracker impacted the planet, detonated. God. I think that was the record time for amount of paperwork. I think it was close to the 2000s of nothing but paperwork.
Oh yeah, I trust me, I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still somehow surprised I got that shit done within a single day.
At least you got it done with a day. Us over here, when we learned that our, what do you call it, that ship of ours, the destroyer that was apparently sent out to go investigate, when it disappeared, the whole facility was up in arms.
Ugh.
Thought it was some pirate terrorist attack or some shit.
Yeah, I believe
If
it.
I remember correctly, we sent some officials over to you at the CEC wondering what the hell is happening.
Yeah, I remember being told about that. I don't remember what my officials told you guys, but thankfully we were able to work it out.
Paperwork, it looked like that no one really knew what was happening, and after sending another recon team, they found that, from what they said in the declassified files, what truly happened, and decided that just killing the system was the best course of action, which doesn't make sense, but it's a government, so they have their fun.
Yeah. What truly concerned me was because I'd specifically sent that planet cracker to rendezvous with the base on Gaia.
Yeah, wasn't there like a colony or some shit set up there?
There was several colonies, as a matter of fact. There was
gone now.
Yeah, and I think there was like it was 8 colonies. It was split evenly. There was 4 civilian colonies for the planet itself, and then there was 4 mining colonies that had been set up for the planet crackers. Because that planet cracker, it was one of the older planet crackers in the fleet. As I remember, about 2 years, yeah, we had retrofitted the planet crackers where they...
The pride and joy of the CEC at the time.
Yeah, it was. It was until we built the Roanoke, and it became the pride and joy of our fleet.
Yeah.
I remember the planet cracker had been named after planet Gaia. and it was the largest planet cracker that we had made at that time. Well, it was like over 5 kilometers long.
It's a big ship.
Oh yeah. Since it was one of the older ones, it had the old school equipment. So it's,
yeah, analog styled equipment.
Yeah. So I remember within 2 years of it being built, we had completely upgraded the Planet Cracker fleet from using the old analog gravity tethers to the more robust precision thermal lance. Yeah. I remember.
I think the most astonishing part about the whole thing was that Planet Cracker Gaia outlived the fucking sovereign colonies.
Oh, it did. It truly did.
It outlived the Roanoke, which still don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
And then, as if irony had to come ruin everything, something happened and it barreled into the surface of a planet.
Yeah. The oldest serving ships amongst the CEC at the time. And then, out of the blue, it's sent on the mission to rendezvous with its home planet, Gaia. So, if I remember, it was to rendezvous for one last mission before returning to Earth to be decommissioned. Since it had yeah. And then all of a sudden, as it enters Gaia's system, we lose radio. Yep. We lost radio contact with Gaia. We even lost contact with the colony.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part to me.
Yeah.
You'd imagine something like that, the colony. Someone would pick up the phone, but no. No, it just straight dark.
Yeah. I think it was like over 4 billion souls on that planet alone. And some...
No one picked up the phone.
Yeah. And to add on to that, some like 5,000 souls on Planet Cracker Gaia. Not a single phone call. Then, to make matters worse, there's a single breach in the dead waves of water. A distress signal.
And the weird part is, back then CC distress signals were very... You never got them for no reason. It was always something going down.
Yeah. Because there was always company policy. If you ever got a CEC...
Distress beacon is not a toy.
Yep. Distress beacons are not a toy. You activate one of those, it better be for a damn emergency.
You know what the weirdest part is, though?
Huh.
From some recovered black box files from that Federal Arms ship that was supposed to go rendezvous to the distress beacon.
Yeah.
They said that they picked up an escape pod and that the distress beacon was placed on an asteroid that was supposed to be mined by the Planet Cracker. But when they got there, the Planet Cracker was falling into orbit, and then after that, it's no more data.
That is extremely weird. Because I know during our time as a CEC, we had two forms of distress beacons. We had the internal ship beacon, which was part of the ship beacon array.
Yeah.
And then we had the modular mobile beacons. So the fact that a module beacon was used goes to tell me.
I assume that there was a full comms blackout, I believe.
Yeah, full communications outage.
Which I find weird, due to the way, because at the time, being a military company, we have all the files on y'all's ships.
Yeah.
And from reading them, the way the ship was designed, it was the only chances to have the modular beacon was if the ship was just straight falling into a black hole and nothing was working.
Yeah.
But the ship wasn't.
No. Because I remember, in order to access the module beacon, or at least the module beacon storage, you had to implement a code so you could unlock the doors, or at least the little locker doors that held the beacons. And those codes were given to the communications officers. More specifically, the senior officer, because he was usually the one to initiate distress beacons.
Initiate that there is a total emergency and that they need assistance now.
But yet, if I remember crew reports, Gaia was running on a skeleton crew that day because, well, she was scheduled for decommissioning.
Yeah, they were only going bare minimum just to get whatever job done, and then...
Yeah. The senior officer and most of the communications team was back on Earth, with only a handful of necessary crew members. So, what I have to say is the fact that they had a modular distress beacon on one of the asteroids that the ship was to mine means that they either broke open the storage, which doesn't surprise me, or
an emergency situation.
Yeah. Yeah. But in order for them to have broken open the storage, they must have exhausted all other options. And
another thing that weirdly fits between this, I can't remember the name of the destroyer. So like, like the Velcor or some shit.
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't it an old Conestoga class destroyer?
I don't know. I know that was back when our main weapons were still nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
But it picked up that, you know, that the escape pod. But immediately after picking it up, everything went dark on the black box, as if just the ship straight fell apart afterwards. Which doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
One man could not completely take over an entire ship full of armed individuals.
That's true.
Even a saboteur, like that is... And at the same time, even if it was a spy, there were no life signs. Even as good as a spy is, there would be some remnants that a spy was there. No. Everything was dead.
Huh. Most concerning. Because I know how the way we operated our cracker fleet, those things were like a hive city. And to bring down communications required a lot of effort.
you'd have to kill everyone on the ship, or at the very least 90% of the crew.
Yeah. But
And that is a feat that no one is really capable of.
yeah. Especially not against the Hive City like how the Crackers were. But I
Even
would.
in today's technology,
Yeah.
like the Retribution, sure, it'll destroy a ship, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But people are gonna be able to escape.
Yeah. The fact that there is, from 2 ships, an entire colony with over, what was it, 4 or 5 billion people. Not
I think it was an estimated net death of around 5.8 billion people. That's going with the colony. You have the colony, the Velcor, the Planet Cracker, all that together. That's a lot of death.
Yeah.
And all of it is unexplained, which is the weirdest part.
Yeah. It's like, remembering how the Gaia was built, if you were to try and disable its communication through a less violent means, one would have to sabotage its internal communications array.
Even then, you had spares to repair it.
Oh, yeah.
So on top of sabotaging it, you'd have to make it a hostile environment to go and repair it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nigh impossible, considering it had a high crew.
Yeah. Remember, the main array was located near the bottom, and it was massive.
Yeah,
there was like,
gigantic in size.
Yeah. If I remember detailed, it was like, I think there was, for the main array was over some 200 odd satellites. And coupling that with the 4 backup arrays it had, which each consisted of like 100.
Yeah.
That's a lot of satellites to sabotage. But the only other way I could see shutting down that many satellites was if you'd sabotaged the power generators. That would have been a feat again in itself, because the amount of reactors that were in that ship alone would probably been enough to power the entire Sovereign colony fleet 2 times over.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't even explain what happened. Because judging how it was reported to have fallen to the planet means someone would have to have knocked out its internal stabilization along with its centrifuge. But
which doesn't make sense.
yeah. It's because it was moving to rendezvous with the ship. Or with... Yeah. It was on the rendezvous with a ship on Gaia, so it could offload some more unnecessary personnel, so it can go do its one final cracking.
Yeah,
because
ceremonial cracking to signify its end of service.
Yes, but who would try and sabotage the ship? Because that makes no sense.
There's no potential gain in even doing such a thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, still sets on pirates.
Yeah. But even if it was pirates,
How?
Yeah, how? And to me, it doesn't make sense. If it was pirates, Because remembering the Gaia system was one of the most friendly systems to have existed. There was no form of hostility. So,
Well, I remember the government readings of it. They said that some pirates managed to basically sabotage into the system. And after sabotaging in, they have everything just go in under dark. So to those that basically weren't there, didn't know what would happen, but even then, it still doesn't explain some of the things.
yeah.
Honestly, I don't ever think we're really gonna get answers.
Truly, all we can do is just speculate. Because
It's much akin to the Roanoke and the Terra Nova.
yeah. Because, like, with the Roanoke and the Terra Nova, we could at least put together some pieces of the broken puzzle. Albeit crude, but at least we could put together the pieces. But what happened with Cracker Gaia and its home planet is a mystery. Because you said on reports from the black box it picked up a single escape pod.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't make sense. Why would there be a single escape pod? There should have been multiple escape pods if something was truly wrong.
Without a doubt, there should have been like hundreds of escape pods, but they've only recorded picking up one. And then immediately after picking it up, something happened and the ship and its crew were all just annihilated.
A single person would never been able to take out a ship of armed personnels. And not even, well, following most naval traditions, soldiers aren't on board are not armed. Maybe except for a sidearm, but a single man would still never been able to take them all down.
Weird when you just think about it.
Yeah.
Unless they had some experimental drug that just made him the strongest man in the entirety of humanity at that time. There is no physical way someone should have been capable of downing an entire gunboat of soldiers.
It's like, same for Gaia. If someone did kill them, how? You know?
We'll never know.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. We'll never really know the answer.
It is.
Well, anyway. On to brighter pastures, because I'm sure viewers must be getting a bit bored of conspiracy theories within the galaxy.
Conspiracy theories and those reminiscing on our pasts. Yeah, I'd assume they'd be bored as well.
Yeah, the cargo ship's coming along nicely.
That's good.
Right now I'm just building the main bridge.
Alright.
The way it's designed, you have an upper bridge for just super cruise flight, and a lower bridge for when you're docking to unload and all that goodness.
Yeah. I can put I can put Vanquisher batteries on the lower spine mount.
Nice.
I could definitely put Endbringers on there. I might put a single Endbringer on the bottom. Yeah. Just so I not go completely fucking overboard with it.
Yeah.
For once.
The Endbringer was a very just what-if weapon.
Truly. It astonishes me that the Endbringer even works.
Yeah, it was more of a dare than it was an actual just thing. It's like, how much gun can we put on a single ship?
Ah,
The
truly.
answer is a lot.
Oh. Definitely, like our motto goes, unlike this pesky biologist, our engineers did stop to think whether or not they should. Their collective answer was, nah.
Yeah. Their collective answer was, let's do it.
Basically. Two Endbringers and a bunch of Vanquisher batteries. And we also got the abundance of, twin Bismarck cannons.
Nice.
It might add some, dual, yeah. I'll add some dual 150s to the bottom behind the, Endbringer turrets.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Because anyone's a fool if they decide to attack from the underside. You know?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, you must see this and be like, yeah, let's go attack the underside.
Yeah, well, you know how pirates are. They're either crafty or dumb as rocks.
Yeah. It's true there. Although, with that new warship they supposedly have, looks like they're getting more crafty, but a hell of a lot more sloppier.
Yeah. Though it is weird thinking about a pirate having a Titan ship.
Oh,
Funny
most
almost.
definitely. Kind of ironic in a way.
I'm gonna laugh if it blows up after it gets out of dry dock.
Well, judging based on reports, it most likely will.
Might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we can hope that it blows up.
I imagine something of that size would honestly detonate.
Yeah, most definitely. It doesn't have your engineering touch and my weapons expertise.
I mean, it technically does, but
Yeah, true.
not entirely.
Not good enough is the statement.
Truly.
Let's just hope the pirates don't actually use it.
I'll laugh if they do.
Yeah.
Javelin's been pretty... Not the Javelin, the antediluvian. Has been pretty, well, let's just say itching to see more combat ever since that test trial it went through with the, UE attack that happened not too long ago.
Yeah? I bet it's definitely itching for a fight, but... UE won't let it. It's kind of a
Eventually
shame.
they will.
Oh, yeah. Eventually they'll feel the need for it.
Did hear somewhere that the reason why they might not be attacking is because that supposed alien threat. That they're saving the antediluvian to test against the aliens.
True.
It's
It
funny to
does.
think about.
It is. It does sound much like the UEE to keep back the biggest ship in case the alien threat is real. Show off the most glorious and spectacular warship humanity has to offer.
Yeah. Still, it's funny to think about it. Aliens come to invade, and instead of getting met by weakness, they get met by a massive dreadnought.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth, motherfuckers. They're happy to stay.
Hope you enjoyed the gift basket.
With love, humans.
Basically.
How's your battleship coming along?
Looks pretty good. I'm adding more point defense weapons to the cowling, so... yeah. Can't go wrong with a bunch of point defense weapons.
Yeah, truly.
Especially, huh.
Cargo hold and the bridges have been built for the heavy cargo freighter.
Nice. Yeah, this, point defense batteries I'm adding is a mix between, the 80mm flak and the God-given 43mm chain gun. You know, given how much the pirates seem to love using fighter aircraft.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. I just find it funny hearing the combat engagements between them and the 43mm. It's like they expect to achieve something and then they just get destroyed.
Yeah. Got the 80mm flak to provide that cloud shrapnel. Then you've just got the 43 to chew right through them.
Never go wrong with a cloud of molten metal.
Oh yeah.
Do you still have the antediluvian in your world?
Yeah.
Alright, you might want to despawn it here soon because I'm planning on bringing in the heavy freighter
Alright.
at some point. Don't have to despawn it now because I'm still working on it. I'll tell you when
I'll just despawn it so I can clear up a bit of frame rate. I know. Should probably add some like flak turrets in between the main battery, just to disperse any rockets that may be targeted at the battery.
Yeah, might be smart.
Because I know the flak guns are good at dispersing rockets. Because I think the underside is well protected via flak and chain gun fire.
Yeah.
But the top of the bridge is definitely protected, but the guns, not so much. As I've even added a few casemate batteries, just in case they decide to get a little too close somehow.
Never be too safe and sorry.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with some good old casemates.
Truly.
Oh, this is definitely going to be one hell of a hitter.
What?
The flak battery staggered with the 43mm chain guns.
Nothing's gonna be able to get through that. You've essentially done the good old adage of, if I don't have armor, I'm gonna have gun.
Basically. Kinda half tempted to shut down the main battery, go chase down some pirate, and just watch as hell is unleashed upon them.
Might as well.
Yeah.
I really like that design. It's pretty good. So, the way I did the cargo ship's pretty cool. Along the spine, just inside the cargo ribs, is the hallway that leads to the unloading bridge. And yeah, with the light, it looks pretty cool.
Alright.
And you also got like glass and shit that looks down into the cargo.
No.
I just have to add some antennas and miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
It's a commercial freighter after all. Well, military grade commercial freighter.
Yeah, when you bring it over, I can add weapons for point defense and, well, self-defense. Small weapons at that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come in, have it shock in so you can deal with it, and I'm gonna go back to start working on one of the other projects that I need to work on.
Alright. Creating the blueprint of my first battleship.
Nice.
It's definitely got that Imperial Arms signature on it. Armor's not our specialty, but we'll fuck you up with guns.
Here comes the fun part. As a part of the trade deal, see if you can build a ship from scratch.
Alright.
Usually, I find the easiest way to start building a ship is to either start from the engines or start from the bow.
Okay.
Say, for example, my freighters, my tanker and my cargo freighter, I started from the engines. I got the X design canted engine, built forward to the main hull, and then from there I just thought of an idea of like, how would a tanker look?
Yeah?
There's a good tip on how to getting started into the construction of ships.
Alright. This will be known as the Conestoga class battleship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, time to go configure these lights, get them to blink, get the antennas set up, and I'll be bumping over to your...
Aight. This design is very angular, but, well, round. Not a problem. Is that something within 1 kilometer?
That something is about to fuck around and find out.
Yes, it is. I think it just despawned, and that's the hilarious thing. It noticed it was within 1 kilometer and said, "Oh, hell no." There's an assailant within 2 kilometers.
That is sadness prime. You know what the worst part is?
What?
I can send over some of my teams to give you some interior tech on railguns. Because our team has managed to make not a fully automatic, but a rapid fire railgun nicknamed the Tempest.
Sounds interesting.
I'm sure you can see why that would possibly be very useful.
Oh, most definitely.
Not gonna do very good overall damage, but as far as just absolutely melting a target, I'm sure it'll work splendidly.
Definitely sounds like it works splendidly. I wonder if there's anything left of that assailant.
Good question. Probably not. Alright.
I think I found what's left of it.
Just a few blocks.
Yeah.
Well, coming back, you might want to remove the antediluvian and save it and all that.
Yeah, I've already saved it. I'm gonna configure the turrets of the Conestoga.
The Conestoga.
Yeah.
I think when I build my version of the battleship, I'm gonna call it the Jericho class.
Yeah. There was
And we had
over...
the Antediluvian class super dreadnought.
Yeah. There was over 100.
Yeah, I see that.
Aiming radius. No. 800.
We have an issue.
Huh.
I'm positive it spawned me miles away again.
Oh dear.
Tell me how far away I am this time.
Hold on. I need to configure the flak turrets. Over like 180, I think.
Got the beacon on, right?
Yeah.
I should see it soon.
Yeah, why are you 190 kilometers away?
I don't know.
I love how the main battery didn't even have time to react. They're in the process of turning, but the fucking point defense completely annihilated that assailant.
The point defense said milk mode initiate.
Yeah. You're 190 kilometers away. Beacon's like 200 kilometers max, so...
Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I'm not getting your,
Weird. Oh. I'm coming away at a crisp 133 kilometers. I'm still amused at the fact that you can tell the main turrets were starting to turn, but the fucking flak batteries along the side of the main turret said no.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know where you are, and I honestly don't know.
I'm on my way.
Chilling inside the freighter. I don't know how long your game has before it comes.
Sicko mode on stealth.
No way to help it out. Asteroids. Fuck off. You're only useful in survival.
Basically.
You just watch every rock in your vicinity just delete itself.
Basically.
At the same time, this isn't really the finished product. Cargo ship. finish, but without the whipped cream on top.
I don't know why it spawned you so far away, because normally it spawns you next to me.
No, always put like a med bay or some shit on your ship so I can spawn in a med bay.
Alright. You know, I might be able to turn off cruise control, put a med bay, so you can respawn on the ship.
Don't know how to respawn, and I honestly don't feel like removing this, respawning, and then respawning it back in.
Fair. What is your major malfunction, Onyx? You should see my beacon rapidly approaching.
I promise you to say I don't.
Weird.
I don't know why, like, this is the thing that annoys me. You can see me. I can't see you.
Did you turn on show all players for admin zone? Or admin tools?
Show all players. Show players' names on HUD even when broadcast is on.
You should be able to see me now.
Nope. It's been on this entire time. I do not see you.
What the fuck?
It won't let me like even go to teleport to you either.
The hell?
Yeah.
That's just confusing right there.
Heavy freighter, heavy tanker. I must say, my favorite engine design for ships is a mixture of this canted X design with how the antediluvians like sharp tendrils, for lack of a better word, kind of like just stretch back.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on the design of the ship, because usually for fat ships, you know, snubby, I like the canted X, but for long ships, I like it to have those tendrils. That's just how I like to design my ships. Close are you?
162 kilometers away.
I'd say accelerate to around 39 meters a second.
Yeah.
Cut the time down by 3%.
Yeah.
I think I know why I can't see your beacon.
Oh.
It's in the fucking ship. It has to like stand up.
Oh. Seriously?
I think. I can be wrong. I don't know if it has the same like physics as the laser designator antenna thing. Because apparently it needs to be like within visual range of another in order to block or some shit.
Yeah, neither do I.
just like the tanker, atmosphere capable. Tried and true
Nice.
thing about Federal Arms. Our ships will most of the time be atmosphere capable to allow atmospheric operations.
Yeah.
They said it was impossible putting anything beyond a Javelin class within orbit. I looked at them and laughed as I made the antediluvian orbit capable.
Yeah.
Fix the beacon, put it like on the very tip of your ship, like the bow bit. Maybe
Okay.
I would be able to see it. Bow is very flat.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
I mean, technically, you can also take my heavy freighter and just retrofit it into a battleship.
Yeah.
Because it's... Actually, yeah, the heavy freighter is more designed, if you will, to be a battleship than the tanker is. All you have to do is remove all the cargo sponsons within the ribs, and just add guns along the ribs and shit. Boom. Battleship.
I put 2 beacons in the bow. That's the very point of it.
All you have to do is just make their broadcast range go up.
Broadcast range has been increased.
Still not seeing anything.
Hmm.
Nope, nope, nope. I see you now. You're behind me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start coming towards you now.
Yeah.
God, this freighter moves like a bus.
Hmm.
What?
I'm gonna show you 3 images that say choose which blueprint you think would look better.
We are now closing the distance.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd have to go with the first one, only because its angles look a little bit less cancerous to achieve.
Alright.
Close second will have to be that very block brick shaped one, and the last has to be that curved one, because that is just hell.
Yeah. Alright. So the more humanoid looking one, well, the more dreadnought looking style warship.
Yeah.
And then the second one, the block.
The block is just easy because, well, the fucking block.
It's a straight up
But
square.
I'd say go for the first one only because it's challenging you to actually build something unique and relatively...
Ship-like, and that's not just a square.
Yeah. Then again, it's a challenge. I took the challenge to create these canted engines, and I did pretty well.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting you to make that ship one-to-one, but just like take some design elements and morph it into your own ship.
Alright. Yeah.
Be
Really?
careful going into EVA when your ship is moving fast.
Yeah.
Your ship is not moving at all, I don't think.
No, I've come to a stop.
Thought so.
That, so I wouldn't kind of fly away and a ship go whee. You know.
That means I am approaching you.
Yeah. I genuinely think this is like a dreadnought.
I'd say more of a battle.
It's